You cannot affect permanent changes in your lives unless you change your consciousness. There's no way to do it except for changing your consciousness. And your consciousness is the be-all and everything in your experience and existence in this world. Everything comes from it. Let me give you an example. So some people talk about this as being perspective, but it is so much deeper than that, and we are going to talk about all of the things that it truly is. So here's an example. If my consciousness is holding a belief in it that I am unlovable or unworthy, this is going to play out. I'm going to see this belief because my brain, how your brain works, is it always, always, always proves to you the things that you believe, the things that you think are true. It's constantly searching and it is looking for proof of these things. And here's the deal. You actually don't have to search very hard. When you hold a belief within you, it will be made manifest. You will see it in the world if you just only pay attention to it. So when people are like, oh, I want to change my life, I want this thing to start happening, and I want that thing to start happening, and none of this is happening, then you need to examine your mindset. Where is your mindset at? What do you expect is going to happen to you? What are the underlying beliefs that might be blocking this new thing from coming to you, or that might be holding you stuck or captive in a certain vibration or energy? Now, you know that when you play a note, let's say I'm playing the piano and I'm pressing key number C, right there in the middle, press the number C note, and that C note carries with it a vibration and a tone, and it makes a certain sound. We hear that certain sound, and it does not matter how many times that particular vibration is played, it will always play that same tone, that same note. It will play that same note and tone through that same vibration. This is your consciousness. Your consciousness is constantly emitting vibrations at different levels, and some of them are very low and some of them are very high. Now, why does this matter? Because magnetism is real, and our thoughts are electric, and magnetism works with electricity. So with our thoughts. So what we send out karmically is returned back to us. Now, let me give you some examples here. So let's say that you believe that you're not good enough or you're not worthy or something like that, like I mentioned earlier. That carries within it a certain vibration. Now, I cannot press the C note on the piano and expect an F to come out. I can't. It's not going to happen, right? Just like you cannot think certain things, hold certain vibrations and send them out and expect to get something other than what it is that you're sending out. Although very often we do this. We think, oh, I can send that out and I'm going to get this back. Well, if you really truly believe that, if that's an underlying belief of every time I do this, this is the result, then yes, you will get proof of that and that will be the result. But very often we are emitting frequencies from ourselves through our mindset that we're putting out that are permeating our environment. They are charging it up. They're going into that empty space that's all around you. It's charging it up, and then it creates through this visible matter, which in turn in a month or 2 months or 10 years or whatever it happens to be will come back and become actual visible matter in your life. So what we send out will be returned back to us. So now how magnetism works. So if you were to put this in a scientific setting, right, they're going to send out this electrical charge, and then it's just going to disappear. It's just going to freaking disappear. Where does it go? Science, where does it go? They can never tell you. They'll never, ever be able to tell you where it goes. But they're going to be able to tell you that, well, it comes back. It returns back in the exact same frequency that it was sent out. They can tell you that much. Now, you know that your thoughts are electric and that the law of magnetism is inescapable. It's like the law of cause and effect. Jesus called it reaping and sowing. You reap what you sow. And so as we send things out, they are then returned back to us. But now it talks and it says what we send out can come back to us in an expanded form. So I'm going to explain to you how that is. So myself, I will use myself as an example. I am a healer. So when somebody comes to me, I'm going to help them heal. I'm going to help them heal trauma from their past. I'm going to help them heal emotions. If they have a physical ailment, I'm going to help them heal their physical ailment. And so what happens here? I am doing good work, and I'm doing it purely out of love, right? So somebody comes to me, they have a disease, I help them, they're now healed, they no longer have their disease. So I have put out, through just my loving intentions and through the good work that we do, this wonderful healing energy for this person, which is only love. The only thing that people are witnessing, if someone was to sit in the room and they were to witness someone get healed, all they're witnessing is visible love. They are watching love made visible occur. This is what is happening. Now, what does this have to do with karma? Okay, so I helped that one person, but I have not only helped that one person, right? Because if you had a loved one who was suffering and they're in pain every day and they're going through it, you too, in a way, because you love this person, are also energetically affected by that person's downgraded life force energy system that they have in their body, right? You've negatively taken it on. Why? Usually because we love these people, right? It's like we want to hold other people's burdens and we want to hold other people's suffering so that they don't have to carry it so much. So what happens when this person no longer has their disease? You have affected every single person that was previously holding space for them, or that was previously worrying for them, or whatever it happened to be. You have positively affected these people that you don't even know and that you'll never probably ever even meet in your life. But because what you did had such a positive effect on this person, that person's vibration has now shifted. It has now uplifted, become uplifted from its downgraded form where it was sick, suffering with a physical ailment. It's now been uplifted, and so now every person who is in this person's environment will be affected in a positive way through these uplifted vibrations that that person is now emitting. And if you had something to do with this person emitting those positive vibrations, well, now you are going to reap the positive karma, I believe they call it dharma, from what you have done to help this person. So let's say you heal one person, well, maybe that affects 30 people in their life. So this is where the Christ Letters talks about, the good that you do will come back to you, 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold, whatever it happens to be. This is why. So when you go out and you help somebody, and you do something for them, let's say you see a homeless man on the street and you go and you give him some money, or you give him some food and he's starving, what have you done? You have put out good karma into this world, which will come back and affect you. But how far-reaching is that karma? Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe this person went and they shared it with somebody else, and because that happened, this happened, and there's a whole ripple of events. The ripples are endless, just like they say in that one movie that's super good, but I can't think of the name of it. The Adjustment Bureau, that movie. The ripples are endless. And so whatever it is that you did for this particular person, whatever goodness that you put out there in the world, how much has it multiplied? Who knows? But it will be returned back to you in that multiplied form. This is how it works. Now, if you give somebody the goodness, if you give somebody the love and they don't want to accept it and they don't want to receive it, then there's nothing you can do about that except not give it to them anymore. Maybe they don't want it, for whatever reason. But if your intentions are good and your intentions are always pure and loving, then the karma that comes back to you, even if this person did not like it or did not receive it, it is not going to be negative karma that's going to affect you chaotically. It might affect you in a small way like it did to that person. But if your intentions were pure, it's going to be good. This is kind of like how I used to change the stoplights all the time, right? Driving down the road, I don't want to stop, so I just speak it green. Okay, the light just immediately changes. I don't want to have to brake. I just change all the lights. And I didn't realize, until I realized through meditation one time, that this could be negative karma. Because I'm doing something that is affecting other people, right? What if someone was in a hurry to go this place or that place, or what if this or that? I didn't even take into consideration that other people might not be wanting to stop at a light too, right? It didn't even cross my mind. So I'd been doing this for months and months. And then that day that it came to me that, you shouldn't be doing this anymore, it was like, I didn't even think I didn't even think. And I was told I would have to pay the karma for it, which if you guys have been listening to my channel for a while, then you know what happened. The very next day after I realized this, I go turn a corner and I'm deciding, do I want to turn at that street or do I want to turn at this street? You know, I'm going to Sam's Club. And that street's real busy and this one's only got one car right in front of me. So I take that one. Well, this person is driving slower than molasses. Honestly, slower than molasses. I've never experienced anything. I've never experienced that slow of driving in my life. But this was a gift to me to show me, here, this is the karma that you're going to have to suffer. Now you got to drive behind this person who was going slow as molasses for about a half a mile. That was my karma. Why? Because I didn't intentionally put out any badness. I didn't even think. I didn't even think that I could be affecting somebody negatively or annoying somebody by changing the lights or any other thing. It didn't even cross my mind. So I still had to pay for it. But I didn't have to pay for it in a chaotic, destructive, or negative way. And it actually just made me laugh out loud, which uplifted me, because then by the time I got there, I'd been laughing for 2 minutes, because this was just so ironic to me that I knew I was told the day before I was going to have to pay the karma for it, and then I'm paying the karma for it, and it was just hilarious and laughable. So anyways, this is what I'm talking about, that what you are putting out is returned back to you through magnetism, but what you put out can be returned back to you in an expanded form. This also works in the reverse, right? So if somebody is lying, let's say that somebody's slandering someone else, like they're just making up things and they're just lying, or they're lying about themselves, or they're just in general lying. People then base their reality off of those lies that someone else has told. And they will adjust their life accordingly to meet the needs of this lie. So what kind of karma comes from that? It is totally situational, and it is completely dependent upon that exact particular situation. So there's no formula that's going to say, oh, if you lie to somebody, this is going to be the result. What is the extent of it? Okay, through your lie, did you make somebody else look bad that was innocent? Okay, well, you're gonna get karma from that. What damage then happened to that person? How far-reaching was that? That will be returned back to you. Through this lie, this person then may have gone out and acted on that lie, said things, done things because of that lie. Okay, well, now you are also going to receive the karma from that. So it depends what you're putting out. So the good and the bad, they matter, and they are as far-reaching as they are as far-reaching. But here's the deal. If you're only putting out the goodness and you're not putting out the bad, then you're only going to have the goodness that is returned back to you. And so when I say the goodness, all I mean is things that are in alignment with the pure divine love. That's it. Things that are in alignment with the truth, which is that everything is love, and everything that is not that is counteractive to the divine love and will harm you or cause suffering in some way. So this is beliefs, this is everything. So let's say that you got things going pretty good. Life is good, you got your people, you got your things, you got your whatever, but there's this like particular area of your life where you're struggling. Finance, let's say that. Okay, so you're struggling in finance. Use a different example if this one does not pertain to you. You know what I'm saying. So let's say that area is a struggle for you. Well, look at your life and look at the beliefs that you have. Did you ever steal money from somebody? Did you ever do something, did you ever do anything negative to someone else financially? Okay, well, this is going to come back in whatever form that is. Maybe it's a very expanded form. Did you steal from this person and they were going to do this with the money and then now they couldn't, so it affected all these other people too? Well, this is how you get more of that negative karma back. What effect did that action that you have actually, what was the extent of it? Because you will get that negative karma returned back. So you could look at that. If that doesn't pertain to you, then what beliefs do you have around there? Have you struggled in the past? Have people stolen from you in the past? Have people taken advantage of you in the past? Okay, if this happened, what beliefs do you have around that now? Okay, you can't trust people. You need to protect your money. It's not safe to do this or that. There could be a whole host. There could be 10, 20 plus 10 beliefs, all that are keeping that financial abundance away from you. As I said at the start, our mind will always seek to prove your beliefs that you hold in there constantly, all day long. Whether you're really focused on it or not, it doesn't matter. What you believe will be made manifest in your external world. And so if you're holding these beliefs within you that is like, because a lot of people think, oh, money's the root of all evil. Why? Because we're told this. Well, how is it the root of all freaking evil? Okay, it could be used for that, just like drugs. Drugs can be used for good. They can be used for evil too. Same with money. Man, if you had millions of dollars, how much goodness could you do with that money? Oh, you could just do endless goodness with it, couldn't you? So it's not evil. It just depends whose hands it's in. Lots of people believe that you have to work so hard to make however much money. Well, this is a belief, and if you believe that, then you are going to have to work so hard to get that money. Some people also believe that you only get it from certain sources, like, well, I only get it when I go to work 9 to 5, and I only get it in this way. And if this is a belief that you have, then you are not energetically open to be able to receive it in other ways. Now, I know I've told you guys this story before, but I'm going to tell you again. So I used to work, this is 20 plus years ago, I used to work at this restaurant. And that morning, I'm like 20 some years old, or probably not even, I was probably like 18. And I needed money for rent. So I pray in the morning as I did. Anytime I needed anything, I would pray for it, I would expect it, and I would get it. This had been my whole life. Why? Because I just expected it. I prayed, I asked, of course it's going to come to me. So I prayed that morning, I'm like, I need rent, I need this exact amount. I don't remember how much it was. Like, I have no idea, $130, something, whatever it was. Anyway, so I'm at work. And it's kind of slow, but all my table, I'm not making great money, but my tables are all full. I don't remember what day of the week it was. So this man comes up to me, blessed earth angel soul, and whenever he would come into the restaurant, he would always, want to sit in my section and visit with me. And just really nice. And so he comes over to me and he goes, hey, I couldn't sit in your section. They told me I couldn't because it was full, but I felt like I needed to give you this, so I came down here to give you this. And he handed me a handful of money. I'm like, what? Amazing. What? This is so sweet. This is so nice. So I go to cash out at the end of the night, and I had exactly to the dollar the exact amount I had asked for. So here's the thing. I didn't work for that money. I didn't have to do anything for that money. I didn't do one thing for it except for ask for it and expect it. But I didn't have to work for it. So if you have a belief that I have to work to get this or work, you don't. You don't. It's purely your belief. So I've worked with many people for different kinds of, money block sessions or things like that, and they will then make more money than they've ever made before in their life. I had a person, they had been stuck for about 20 years at the same pay, that they made the very same amount the very first year that they started working. Friggin' 20 years goes by and they're still making the same. Well, that year they made $20,000 more than they had previously made. And as soon as we were finished that session, within a week, they were getting free things when they went into places. They worked for a different organization. They were getting all of these checks that were coming in that they weren't expecting, all kinds of things. And this all came because the blocks were removed. Now think of a block as tension and tightness in your body, right? Because if you're like, oh, I need this, but I don't know if I'll get it. Okay, but if I don't know I'll get it causes tension in your body, right? It's a feeling of fear. Ooh. That tension tightens up your body, tightens up your energetic force, your life energy within your body that underlies your entire energetic system under your body. It tightens it up, it tenses it up, and then that divine love that is constantly flowing to you second to second is tightened up and pushed away too. It cannot absorb into those tight, tense energies. It cannot. It can't come to you. So as we begin to shift and we begin to heal these things within ourselves, these beliefs that we have that are detrimental to us, then the expectations that we have change, and because we're expecting something different, we get something different. And because we're focused on something different right now, in the past, if it was like before you did the money thing, you were focused on how you didn't have it, how you always wanted it, and there was always this feeling of want that carries a vibration. There was always this feeling of didn't have that carries a vibration. And you can't get anything other than what that vibration is. Just like you can't press the C note and expect the D note, right? So if I'm sending out this vibration of I don't get it, or I want this, well, then I'm going to keep having that feeling of I want rather than I have. And I'm going to have this feeling of I don't have this, and so I'm going to not have it. You know what I mean? Whatever you're sending out, you're going to get back. You reap what you sow. It is your consciousness that is inescapable, and it is guiding and determining every second of your life, even this second right now. So think about your vibrational state that you have right now as you're listening and as you're learning. Okay, and did any negative things, did any of these thoughts come up that you're like, ooh, I should probably let this go, I should probably let that go? Okay, well, take a second, write them down, and actually work on these things. Actually work on letting them go. Now, here's the deal. When we consciously think about these things, just like you are right now, it's very difficult to let them go, right? Because maybe we don't know why they're there, or we're justifying why they're there. And as we do this, what we're doing is we're reinforcing those things, right? We're sending out the same vibration of, oh, I believe this, and this is why, right? We're just sending out more of that same energy. Well, I believe it. Of course I believe this because of this, right? And we're sending out that vibration, which will come back in the exact same form that we sent it out. So when we can identify, first of all, we have to identify. We need the awareness. We can't change anything that we don't know exists within us, right? How are you going to change something if you don't even know it exists? You can't. You won't. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. That's not how it works. So become aware of the things. What beliefs do you have? Just sit there and write it down. You can do automatic writing. So automatic writing, go get a pen, pencil, whatever, piece of paper. Meditate on it. What money blocks do I have? Okay. What relationship blocks do I have? What career blocks do I have? Whatever area you want to work on, write it at the top of your page. What blank do I have? Blocks. What kind of blocks do I have? Or what beliefs do I have around this particular thing? Okay, so let's say that it's money. Okay, well, you could have a belief that money doesn't come easily. You have to work so hard for it. It takes this many hours to get it. Oh, some people are lucky and some people are not. It's all who you know. You could go on and on and on and on. Write down all the things. Okay, this is a relationship. Okay, what blocks do I have? Okay, people harm me and hurt me. If I'm vulnerable and open, they're going to take advantage of me. Everybody that I know disappoints me. The people that are supposed to love me, they leave me. Whatever it happens to be. Write down all the things. Because then you can be aware, and then once you have that awareness, once you got that written down, I want you to see how many times that same pattern has played out. If it's a relationship, how many? How many relationships have ended in the exact same way? Reinforcing all those beliefs that you have, but those beliefs were not there until they were there. And then when they're there, your mind is seeking for proof of it all the time, and it will do things. You will do things to make those beliefs come true. You're not doing it intentionally. This is all subconscious activity to prove that your mind is telling you the truth. But the proof that you are seeing is not truth. It is proof of the belief that you hold within you. That's it. Your consciousness is the be-all and everything within your existence and within your experience. Your consciousness is made of the exact same material as your material world. Your thoughts go out, they manifest, they imbue the empty space that is all around you, and therefore put life into it, put creation into it, and then eventually after however long, a month, 10 years, however long it happens to be, then these things return back to you in visible form. Now, if you have quite a clear consciousness, quite a clear aura, not a lot of trauma that you're holding within your body, a lot of past trauma, then things will take longer to manifest. And so then by the time that they come back to you, you're not going to remember, oh, you know what, I swindled and cheated this person and now I've been swindled and cheated. You're not going to remember it, and you're going to play victim to it because you're going to stay in that same low frequency vibe. You're not all of a sudden going to be like, oh, you know what, I did this, and be happy about it because you learned the lesson. No, you're going to stay in that same low vibe. And you're going to reinforce it, and you're going to do it again and over and over and over and over. You know the people whose lives are filled with chaos and destruction. It is 100,000,000% because of their consciousness, because of their mindset, because of the way that they think. It's the beliefs that are underlying every single thing that they do, every thought, every word, every action that they take. Those beliefs underlie those things, and therefore they become visible manifestations in the world. So when we shift those beliefs, when we heal those beliefs that we have underneath us, underlying our energetic system, in our energy, everything shifts and changes. Why do you want to do this? And it can be difficult to do this, right, when you're shifting something, but you need to become aware of what's there in the first place. So as long as you remain unaware of it, you can't change it. So this is like walking around and having a rock in your shoe and be like, oh, my foot hurts, it's hurting me, it's hurting me, it's hurting me, it's hurting me. And going for years walking around with a rock in your shoe and not realizing it's because you have a rock in your shoe, but just taking the pain anyways. And as soon as you become aware, oh, I can just dump this rock out of my shoe, oh, it takes your pain away. But until you became aware that it was a rock that was hurting you, you just let it fester and you let it be there because you didn't know it was there. So this is what I'm talking about, doing these types of exercises to make yourself become aware. This is how you grow spiritually. This is how you grow in all areas of your life. So become aware. Write down your list. What is it that you want? What area is it that you feel like you're blocked in? And write down all of those things that you feel are blocking you. But these are your beliefs that you have about them. And they can be things that happened because they are true things, right? But it's your beliefs that made them true in the first place. But there are things that are true. So if it's a belief, okay, everyone who loves me betrays me. That would have been mine. Not anymore. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen to me ever again. But if you hold this belief under you of, oh, you know, what if this happens? Or I hope that this person doesn't do this or whatever. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen because your mindset is focused on it. You are sending out that note, that tone in C and expecting to get back F, but you're not. You're sending it out in C and you're going to get it back in C. So if I'm sending this out and I'm like, I don't want this to happen, I'm going to get back that thing that I don't want to happen because it carries a specific frequency that I'm emitting every time that I think about that thing. Every time that I send it out, I'm sending out the frequency of that very thing that I do not want. The Bible says over 365 times, do not fear, do not be afraid, do not be afraid. Why? What does that vibration of fear, what kind of vibration is that? Oh, it's a lowly one, right? It will bring back low things to you. Jesus was aware of this. He was trying to teach the people that you reap as you sow. He was looking to the countryside. He didn't have microscopes and telescopes to tell them about their cells and to tell them about all the different things and explain to them in a scientific way. So he turned to the natural environment. And he would point out, you know, things from the environment and say, you know, look at this thing. You know, these trees over here, they go through all their seasons. You know, and they don't start to complain when their leaves fall off, and they don't start to cry when they don't have any of their leaves over wintertime. No, they just sit and they wait and they trust and they know that the snow is going to melt, the sun's going to shine, and pretty soon there's going to be new life that comes to them. And because they don't complain about their lot in life, they are taken care of. That Heavenly Father, the divine love that exists within everything, cares perfectly for them, and therefore they're cared for perfectly. But we let our minds get in the way. We're perfectly cared for, But as soon as we believe that no, we're not, then we're not. All that you are seeing in your life is the visible manifestations of your beliefs. All that you are seeing in front of you, all that visible matter that you are seeing, is your five senses continually reporting back to you what they believe exists in your world. And all of this is based upon the beliefs that you hold within your subconscious mind, within your energetic system. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your beliefs. It's the only way to do it. Well, I thank you guys for tuning in here today. Thanks for listening to me. If you guys have not checked out the Christ Letters, this is how I base my teachings. This is how I gained my own enlightenment, was through the Christ Letters. This is how I can heal people. This is how I'm bringing you these messages, all the Christ Letters. You can listen for free on YouTube. There's 9 letters. There's articles to go along with it, or you can just Google the Christ Letters and you can read them for free online. But everywhere that you go, you can read them for free, or you can buy it on Amazon for maybe $20. The Christ Letters is what it's called. Anyways, I highly recommend them because they are in actual truth, and it is Jesus's true message of exactly what he was trying to teach the people, but they were so indoctrinated with their old Jewish traditions, and they were under the heavy hand of the Roman Empire, that all the messages just got skewed, and the people could only understand part of it because their minds were not clear, they were not clean. And so they weren't fully understanding. So these Christ Letters is an actual explanation. It is Christ returned through the medium of these letters and explaining how he did what he did and what really exists there. And it is through these letters that I have in my office witnessed, not even in my office, other places as well, physical healings, just like that. So these letters are the truth. And I would highly recommend listening to them, as listening to them will change your consciousness. It will change your consciousness. It will lift it up, and it will help you to see the truth. They're just absolutely wonderful. So I love you all, my darlings, and I'm so thankful that you all turn in. Please like, share, comment. You can even send this to a friend that you think it might help. I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow.